She said, "You're so controlling for asking where I am." I said, "Then you'll love what comes next." I left her the apartment keys, signed the contract in another country, and when she texted, "I miss you," I replied with a photo of the sunset from my balcony, then blocked her. Hey viewers, before we move on to the video, please make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the like button if you want to see more stories like this. Thanks. I met Emily in college, back when we were both scraping by on ramen and dreams. She was studying marketing, full of that infectious energy that made every late-night study session feel like an adventure. I was the steady one, majoring in software engineering, always planning ahead. We clicked because opposites attract, right? After graduation, we moved in together in a mid-sized city in the Midwest, building what I thought was a solid life. For 3 years, I was all in. I relocated for her first big job opportunity, even though it meant turning down a better offer for myself. When she hit a rough patch, laid off during a company restructure, I covered the rent solo for 6 months while she job hunted. I'd cook her favorite meals after her interviews, listen to her vent about rejections, and hype her up. "You've got this," I'd say, meaning it. Flashback to one night. She came home defeated, tears streaming, and I held her for hours, promising we'd get through it. I even dipped into my savings to pay for a certification course she wanted. In return, she was affectionate, fun, the kind of partner who made weekends memorable with spontaneous road trips or cozy movie nights. But things started shifting about a year ago. Emily landed a new gig at a trendy agency, and suddenly her schedule exploded. Late nights at team-building events, weekends networking. I'd text her around 10 p.m., just a casual, "Hey, everything good? Heading home soon." Nothing intense, just checking in like any normal couple. Her responses got snappier. "I'm fine, stop hovering." Or, "Why do you always need to know my every move?" It stung, because I wasn't prying, I cared. If roles were reversed, I'd want her to know I was safe. The red flags piled up. She'd come home smelling like cologne that wasn't mine, her phone glued to her hand, notifications silenced. I'd ask gently, "Rough day? Want to talk?" And she'd brush it off with, "You're being paranoid." I tried to give her space, thinking it was work stress. But inside, doubt crept in. Was I really controlling for wanting basic communication? I replayed our conversations in my head, questioning if I'd overstepped. No, I decided I was just being a partner. Loyal, committed, the guy who showed up every day. One evening, I found a coffee receipt from a spot across town, timestamped during her overtime. I didn't confront her right away. Instead, I sat with it, feeling that pit in my stomach grow. We had built something real, or so I thought. I sacrificed promotions to stay local for her, turned down trips with friends because she wanted us time. And now, it felt like I was the backup plan in my own relationship. Little did I know, the betrayal was about to blow up in my face. It all came to a head on a rainy Thursday night. I'd gotten home early, made her favorite stir-fry, hoping to reconnect. She walked in around 9 p.m., soaked, but not from the rain, more like she'd been rushing. Her face was flushed, eyes avoiding mine. I set the table, trying to keep it light. "Dinner's ready. How was your day?" She dropped her bag with a thud and crossed her arms. "We need to talk, Alex." My heart sank, but I nodded, sitting down. "Okay, what's up?" She paced the living room, not even glancing at the food. "This isn't working. You've become so controlling. Always asking where I am, what I'm doing. It's suffocating." I blinked, caught off guard. "Controlling?" "Emily," I asked because I care. "If you're out late, I worry." "That's not control, that's concern." She rolled her eyes, that smug smirk creeping in, the one she used when she thought she had the upper hand. "Concern? Please. It's jealousy disguised as caring. Jake doesn't do that. He trusts me, lets me breathe." Jake, her co-worker, the flashy salesman from the agency. I'd met him at a company party. Charming, sure, but slimy. "Jake? What's he got to do with this?" She stopped pacing and leaned against the counter, her tone turning dismissive. "Everything. We've been seeing each other for months. He's exciting, Alex. He doesn't clip my wings like you do. Our relationship? It's stagnant. You're always planning, saving, being responsible. Jake lives in the moment. He makes me feel alive." I felt like I'd been punched. Months? All those late nights, the dodgy excuses. "So you've been cheating, and you're blaming me for what? wanting to know if you're safe. Her laugh was sharp, cruel. Cheating? It's not like that. You push me away with your neediness. Asking, where are you every night? That's not normal. Jake says it's a red flag for control issues. I deserve someone who respects my freedom. Twisted logic at its finest. She was justifying betrayal by flipping the script on my basic decency. Freedom to lie and sneak around. Got it. So what now? She shrugged, like we were discussing takeout options. I'm moving in with him. His place is bigger, closer to work. You can keep the apartment. Consider it a parting gift. We'll split the stuff later. No remorse, just smug efficiency. I sat there, the stir-fry going cold, processing her words. Inside, rage bubbled, but I swallowed it. No yelling, no begging. I'd seen enough Reddit stories to know that wouldn't help. Instead, I stood up slowly, grabbed the apartment keys from the hook, and placed them on the table. You're so controlling for asking where I am, she repeated mockingly, as if to drive the point home. I met her eyes, calm as I could manage. Then you'll love what comes next. She frowned, thrown off. What does that mean? I didn't elaborate. Just turned and headed to the bedroom to pack an overnight bag. She followed, her voice rising. Alex, don't be dramatic. This is for the best. You'll see. Maybe you'll find someone who likes your stability. Stability. Code for boring, I guessed. No drama here, I said evenly. You want freedom? You've got it. She huffed, grabbing her things. Fine. I'll crash at Jake's tonight. We can talk logistics tomorrow. As she left, slamming the door, I felt the weight of it all crash down. But I didn't chase her. Instead, I sat on the couch, staring at the wall, letting the confusion swirl. How had my loyalty turned into this? Flashback to our anniversary last year. I'd surprised her with a weekend getaway, and she'd whispered, "You're my rock." Now, that rock was apparently a chain. By morning, I made a decision. No confrontation, no emotional outburst. Just detachment. The next few days were a blur of silence and strategy. Emily texted once, left some stuff behind. Coming by Saturday? I didn't respond. Instead, I focused on logistics. I'd been sitting on a job offer for months, a senior developer role with a tech firm overseas, in a coastal town in Europe. It was a dream gig, better pay, remote-friendly, with a relocation package. I'd applied on a whim during one of her networking weekends, never expecting it to pan out. But now, perfect timing. I signed the contract that afternoon, emailing HR to confirm my start date in 2 weeks. No fanfare, just a quiet click of send. Then I started packing, not dramatically, but methodically. Clothes, books, the few mementos that weren't tainted. The apartment felt empty already, echoes of our laughter mocking me. I sat with the betrayal, letting it breathe. Confusion hit hard. Was I really controlling? I replayed texts in my mind, simple check-ins, nothing obsessive. No, this was her manipulation, gaslighting me to justify her actions. Nights were the worst. I'd lie awake, the unfairness gnawing at me. Why me? I'd given up so much. Friends' weddings skipped because she needed me home, a side hustle abandoned to support her career. Flashback to her job loss. I'd worked overtime to cover bills, reassuring her daily. We're a team, I'd said. Now, that team was dissolved, and I was left holding the pieces. But I didn't wallow long. Dignity meant action, not despair. I booked a one-way flight, arranged to sublet the apartment through a friend. Mutual acquaintances started reaching out, subtle probes like, "Heard about you and Emily. You okay?" I kept replies short, handling it. No bad-mouthing. That wasn't my style. The move was seamless. I left a note for the subletter with the keys, forwarded mail, and vanished. Landing in Europe felt like shedding skin. The air was saltier, the streets alive with unfamiliar chatter. My new apartment overlooked the sea, balcony sunsets that painted the sky in oranges and pinks. Work dove me in head first, challenging projects, a team that valued my input. I started running mornings, exploring cafes, even picked up basic language lessons. The silence from her side was golden at first, but internally, I evolved. Early on, vulnerability crept in, doubts about trust, wondering if I'd ever open up again. Therapy helped. I found an online counselor, unpacking how her words had twisted my self-view. "You're not controlling," the therapist said. "You were invested." Clarity came slowly. Her betrayal wasn't my fault. It was her flaw. Months blurred into growth. I built a routine, hikes on weekends, dinners with expat friends. No rebound flings. I focused on me. The confusion faded, replaced by calm. I was free, ironically, from her freedom. Her smug dismissal replayed less often, overshadowed by my new reality. I detached completely, a ghost in her old world. Little did I know, her unraveling was just beginning. Settling into my new life abroad, I kept tabs on the old world sparingly, mostly through occasional updates from mutual friends who weren't fully in her camp. At first, it was radio silence on Emily's end, which suited me fine. I figured she'd ridden off into the sunset with Jake, living that exciting life she craved. But about 3 months in, the cracks started showing. One of our shared acquaintances, Mike, a guy from her agency who I'd played pickup basketball with, messaged me out of the blue. "Hey man, not sure if you want to hear this, but things blew up with Emily and Jake." I didn't probe, but he spilled anyway. Turns out, Jake wasn't the free-spirited prince she'd painted. He was unstable, with a history of bouncing between jobs and relationships. Emily had quit her position at the agency to support his latest venture, a shady startup that promised quick riches but was basically a pyramid scheme. She'd invested her savings, convinced it was their big break. Karma hit like a freight train. The startup imploded when investors pulled out, exposing Jake's embezzlement. He bailed, leaving Emily holding the bag. Debts piling up, no job, and isolated because she'd burned bridges at work by bad-mouthing colleagues who didn't get her new path. Worse, Jake turned abusive in the fallout, yelling matches, controlling her finances, ironic, right? And eventually cheating on her with someone from his old circle. She found out when his ex messaged her screenshots, proof he'd been playing multiple women all along. Mike said she'd unraveled fast. Moved back to her parents' place in the suburbs, scraping by on freelance gigs that barely covered bills. Her social media, which I glanced at once before blocking, shifted from glamorous posts to vague cries for help. Life lessons come hard, or betrayed by those you trust. Friends started distancing themselves when the truth leaked. Jake's mess wasn't just personal. It tangled her in legal drama over the failed business. One by one, people saw through her facade. The smug girl who dismissed me as controlling was now the cautionary tale. I didn't gloat. Sitting on my balcony, watching the waves crash, I felt a quiet satisfaction. Not revenge, justice. She'd chosen chaos over stability, manipulation over loyalty, and now it bit her. I thought back to those late nights I'd worried about her safety, only to be gaslit. Now, she was truly alone, her freedom, a cage of her own making. As her downfall deepened, the outreach began. Subtle at first, then desperate. But that's getting ahead. Let's just say, her attempts to crawl back exposed her true colors even more. It started innocently enough, about 6 months after I left. An email popped up, her work address, since I'd blocked her number. "Hey Alex, hope you're well. Just checking in. Heard you're overseas? Crazy. Miss our talks. Let's catch up." I stared at it, the cursor blinking. Miss our talks? The ones where she'd accuse me of suffocating her? I archived it without replying. A week later, a text from an unknown number. "It's Emily. New phone. I made a mistake with Jake. He was toxic. Can we talk? I need closure." Closure. As if she hadn't slammed that door herself. I didn't respond, but the floodgates opened. Calls from withheld numbers. Voicemails piling up. "Alex, please pick up. I'm sorry for how I ended things. You were right. I was blind. Jake, he hurt me bad. Abusive, cheating. I'm in therapy now, figuring stuff out." Her tone shifted from apologetic to pleading. "I miss you. Remember our road trips? We were good together. Give me a chance to explain." Then, involving others, her toxic squad. Her best friend Sarah, who'd always sided with her, messaged me on social media. "Emily's a mess without you. You're being cruel ignoring her. She needs support. Be the bigger person." Cruel? The irony burned. Sarah followed up with a call. "Look, Alex, she's broke, living with her parents. Jake left her in debt. Her family's worried. Just talk to her. You owe her that after 3 years." Owe her? After her betrayal? I kept my responses minimal, a polite, not interested to Sarah, then blocked her too. Emily's attempts escalated. Angry emails. "How can you ghost me like this? You're proving you were controlling all along, punishing me for choosing myself. Choosing herself meant cheating and discarding me, but okay. She showed up in my dreams sometimes, not romantically, but as a reminder of dodged bullets. Her family got involved next, unpleasant as ever. Her mom called from a number I didn't recognize. Alex, this is ridiculous. Emily's suffering. You walked away without a fight, cowardly. Come back and fix this. Fix what? Their daughter's mess? I hung up mid-sentence. The desperation peaked with a barrage of texts. Please, I'm alone. No one understands like you. I was wrong. Jake was a liar. Let's start over. I'll move there if you want. It revealed the hypocrisy, begging for the stability she'd mocked. Power reversed. She was unraveling, while I thrived. But I stayed detached, no emotional hooks left. The climax came unexpectedly, about a year after the split, during an online reunion for our old college group. Mike organized it, a video call to catch up. I joined from my balcony, sunset glowing behind me, feeling worlds away. Little did I know, Emily had wheedled her way in, probably through Sarah. She popped on screen, looking worn, dark circles, forced smile. The chat was awkward, people tiptoed around our history. Then she messaged privately. Alex, wow, you look great. That view, incredible. Can we talk after? I ignored it, focusing on the group. But she pushed, unmuting. Hey everyone, quick shout out to Alex. Congrats on the move. We should all visit. Polite murmurs. Then, in private chat again. Please, Alex. I miss you. Jake was a nightmare. Abusive, left me broke. I'm better now. Let's reconnect. Her voice cracked on the call when she circled back publicly. Alex, off topic, but I regret everything. You were the best thing. Can we chat privately? The room went silent. I unmuted calmly, face neutral. Emily, that chapter's closed. I've built a life here. New job, new friends, peace I didn't know I needed. You're irrelevant to that now. She blinked, stunned. Irrelevant. After all we had. You're heartless. Heartless, like her smug breakup? I didn't bite. Not heartless. Just moved on. Completely. She ranted then, true colors blazing. You think you're better? Running away to Europe? You'll end up alone too. I smiled faintly. Alone? Nah. This is freedom, real freedom. Enjoy yours. With that, I sent a quick photo to her private chat. The sunset from my balcony, waves crashing below. No caption needed. Then, I blocked her mid-call, excusing myself from the group with a wave. Great seeing you all, gotta run. After, reflection hit. I'd evolved, from the hurt guy questioning his worth to someone emotionally free. No sympathy for her karma, it was earned. Now, I'm dating casually, someone who values stability without weaponizing it. Work's booming, life's sunsets over the sea. Thanks for watching. Make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the like button. What do you think about this story? Share it in the comments.